Have you ever wondered why one of your videos gets a load of views and then the next one doesn't do as well?
It's so frustrating because if you want to grow your business via YouTube, you have to keep people coming back.
But how do you do that?
Well, over the last 6 years, I've helped hundreds of business owners generate hundreds of millions of views and tens of millions of dollars using that system that gets a result, and I call it the binge trap. So now I'm going to show you how to optimize videos to create a binge trap that grows your business, and 3 things the internet won't teach you about making videos, but more importantly, you're going to learn why the end of your video is the secret to all of this.
But it's not to do with the end screens, it's to do with this cheesecake, which I'm going to eat all 7,000 calories of to explain. To start though, I need to show you why creating videos that focus on binge sessions should be your ultimate goal. So think of YouTube like this. If someone is watching one of your videos and they see all of this competition down the side, all we want them to do is click on your video next and ignore everyone else, right? If that happens, YouTube will reward your channel with more impressions. If you can do this 3, 4, or 5 times in a row, with every video you make, your views will explode, and then so can your business. The thing is, most people are actually doing things in their content which stops this from happening, but it's not because they made a bad video, it's that they made one that isn't optimized for large binge watching sessions, and there's a great big difference. And that brings us on to the first part of the binge trap formula, and to show you why this is so important, let me ask you a question. What is the best flavor of cheesecake in the world? Is it New York baked, vanilla, Toblerone, strawberry, blueberry, gooseberry, Mars bar? When you look at that list, you're probably going to think to yourself one of these is actually the best. Some are nice, and some are like, why would anyone order that? This is how YouTube works too. People have different tastes of the style of content that they like to digest. Some are going to want massive unedited deep dives like Lex Friedman gives. Some are going to want more entertaining story-based videos like Mark Rober makes. Others are going to want vlogs like Casey produces. And some are going to want to watch shorts from people like... can't actually remember the names of any short form creators. Anyway, look what happened when Noah Kagan figured this out. He came up with a style and the video exploded, flipped to a different format, didn't work out as well, went back to the other style, it worked, went back to the other, it didn't do so well. Eventually, he just went all in on the style that his viewers loved, and that meant that when they had watched 3, every time they saw another one of those videos, they would know exactly what to expect, making his content easier for them to click and watch all the way through. So the first part of the binge trap is to simply establish the style of the content your viewers love to digest so that you can keep giving them their favorite cheesecake over and over again. Meaning when they see your next video appear, they're gonna have more trust that it will deliver on their expectations, and they'll begin the binge trap. Which brings us on to a big problem that stops the binge trap working. If I gave you this cheesecake to eat, do you think you could finish eating it? Probably not. And that's where the second part of the binge trap formula comes in. Because what we need to do is get our viewers to the end of a video without them feeling like they've had too much. Because like I said at the start, the end of the video is the most important part of this whole entire process. So it's critical we include the right ingredients in our content to achieve that kind of result. But how do you do that? Well, I'm going to give you one of the most powerful ingredients on the planet. And it works like this. Have you ever had a moment where you're watching a video and a creator says a line that suddenly makes you understand how something works?
And that's why eating too much cheesecake will kill you.
I get it now. We call them light bulb moments, and when you get them, you feel really good, right? It's like this weight has been lifted off your shoulders, and as a result, you trust and value that creator who gave it to you on a whole new level, meaning you'll be way more excited to click on the next video and continue the binge fest. But how do you create a light bulb moment in your viewer's mind? Well, it's actually the exact opposite of what most people think, and it's going to reveal the answer to one of the most commonly asked questions people have about YouTube, which is this.
How come that creator's blown up when their information's so simple compared to mine?
Go and look at Ali Abdaal, watch a few of his videos, and you're going to realize one thing. You will never feel confused or come up against anything that makes you feel overwhelmed. And that is the key to creating binge sessions. YouTube's not about how smart you appear, it's about how smart you make your viewers feel. So if you give your target viewers overly complex information for the current level they're at, then you made the cheesecake too sweet and they'll feel sick and they'll stop watching. But if you find ways to make that complex information easier to digest like Ali does, then it makes your viewers feel confident, and that makes them feel incredibly satisfied but never full up. And that means they want more and more and more. But how do you do that? I'm not eating that. Well, let's have a look at Ali again, and one way he does this to get amazing results, and you might be able to spot it in these videos' thumbnails. To simplify things for his target audience in a way they really resonate with, Ali gives people systems to follow. Now, the reason systems are really powerful are because they give you simple steps to follow to get a result, and when you are given the exact steps to take, you don't need to focus on anything else, so it removes the overwhelm people get from an infinite amount of options, and then it makes them feel confident they can get a result, which inspires them to watch another one of your videos in the hunt for more of that feeling. You know what's depressing? It's not even a flavor I like. Which brings us on to the third part of the binge trap, and this is why you need to take your ending as seriously as your intro and every other part of your video, and it's got nothing to do with end screens. So you know you need So you know you need to. So you now know that you need to create content that is to your viewers' taste, and that you create a feeling so they never feel full up. Now what you need to do is make them hungry for even more. But how do you do that? This is so big. I don't like it.
Well, I've actually been talking about it the whole way through this video. In truth, YouTube is not about editing or writing or filming. It's about using those things to achieve one thing, and that one thing will drive your viewers from one video to the next with ease, and that's why the end of your video is so important. So let me explain. If I said to you, eat one mouthful of cheesecake, how certain would you feel that you could do that, providing that you're not lactose intolerant, of course? Very certain, right? But if I said eat the whole thing, how certain would you feel that you could do that? Well, let's just imagine that you tried. You'd eat a decent amount and then you'd start to feel pretty uncomfortable, and in your head you'd be thinking, I don't think I can do this, and anxiety levels would rise and you'd want to stop. Basically, the more cheesecake you eat, the less certain you become that you can finish the whole thing, so you mentally tap out.
I don't think I can do this anymore.
And what that means is the goal you need to hit by the end of your video is to make your viewers feel certain so they want to watch another one. So let me explain what that means and show you why creating a feeling of certainty is so powerful. So to feel certain just means to have a strong belief that something is true, correct, or real without any doubt at all. Now, there's some science behind this too, because the reason creating a feeling of certainty is so powerful is because when someone watches your videos, their brain's amygdala, which processes things like fear and anxiety, becomes less active when they feel certain about what they've been watching. This means they feel comfortable, secure, and less stressed. But not only that, dopamine is activated when we experience certainty too. And this gives viewers a feeling of pleasure and satisfaction, and that actually makes your videos more addictive. So putting it simply, all you need to do is by the end of the video, make people feel certain they understood, and they'll want to watch another one. And if all of your videos do this, you have successfully activated the binge trap.
But how do you create certainty? Well, I've already touched on how Ali does it with simple systems. You see Ali eating a cheesecake in his videos. But there are a lot of other ways to do it. So let me give you one of my favorites.
And it'll help you when you're feeling stuck. So to start, you just need to ask yourself, how can I simplify the information in my video so that when people get to the end, they feel certain they understood? But sometimes that's easier said than done, right? So when I'm struggling to come up with ways to simplify a message, I just ask myself, how would you describe this to a 5-year-old? And when you think of it like that, you usually find all kinds of ways to creatively explain something in an easy to understand way, which you can then edit to match your audience tastes.
Oh, it's not even halfway. I'm gonna die.
I probably need to say, you're not actually trying to write a script to a 5-year-old. You still need the words to be all grown up and not goo goo gaga.
Can we stop it there? Let's just pretend I ate it. I just don't want to die. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna clap, and then this is gonna disappear, and then we're just gonna pretend I ate it, right? So now you know how to build a binge trap. There's one more key ingredient that you need to sprinkle in there to grow your business. So watch this video next so you can build your skill up in this key area.